Hey guys, thanks for the clip. Today I have this ammo box. I've already engraved on the front side and on the left side, and now I'm going to engrave on this side right here. But this time I'm going to take you through a step-by-step process of how I engrave on this ammo box. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put this on the workbench so I can take some measurements so I'll know exactly where to place my image, okay? So let's go ahead and get this project started, okay? Let's go. Okay guys, now that the ammo box is on the workbench, we need to determine where we want our engraving to be on this box. And of course, we want the engraving to fall on this area of the box, okay? So we're simply going to measure the width of the box and the height of the box to the bottom of the lid. Because right now this lid is in a closed position and we want our engraving or our design to be or fall within this area here so that the lid doesn't cover up any of our design, okay? So now let's go ahead and get a ruler, and I'm going to measure the bottom of the box. And the bottom of the box comes out to 11 inches. And now let's do the height, and we're going to start at the bottom of the lid, and the measurement comes out to 6 1/4 inches. So now that we have these two measurements, let's go ahead and go to the computer and quickly make our file. Okay, let's go. Okay guys, I opened up Lightburn, so let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the rectangle tool, and I'm going to make the dimensions of the rectangle match the dimensions of the ammo can that I made earlier. I'm also going to change the color used for the rectangle from red to the orange T1 frame layer, since this frame layer will be used to align the design to the ammo box. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go to File, and I'm going to import the image to our Lightburn file. Okay, so let me go ahead and navigate to the folder that has my design, and here it is right here. It's an SVG file, so I double click on it and it imports it into my design here. Okay, and I'm going to change that color to blue because when I engrave stuff I usually use the blue color. And now I'm going to resize my image, and I'm going to drag it to be just a little bit bigger to fill up most of the area of the rectangle. When satisfied, I select the rectangle and the image, and I click on the button at the top taskbar that will align both the vertical and horizontal centers. Alright, the next part I'm going to do is very important. If I move over to this window right here, which is the laser window, I'm going to use the user origin, which is already selected, and I'm going to change the job origin from the bottom right corner to the bottom middle, okay? So now the job origin, or where the laser is going to start from, is going to start on the bottom center, okay? So when I select our design, you'll see this little green dot here, which is now located on the bottom middle of the rectangle. And this is the location where the laser will begin the engraved job. So now that we have this done, we need to go back to the workbench, and I need to make a little tick mark on the bottom center of the ammo can. Let's go. Okay, now that I've designed the file in Lightburn, remember that we set the job origin to the bottom middle of the rectangle. Okay, so what I want to do now is I'm going to get a little piece of painter's tape, and I'm going to put this painter's tape kind of centered on the bottom of the box, okay? Doesn't have to be exact, but we just want it there so that we can make a mark on it. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure across the box again. And remember, it's at 11 inches, and I want to mark half of that. And we're going to be at 5 1/2 inches. Right there. So now I have a little tick mark here that I'm going to use when we put this box in the laser so that I can set the origin on the laser, okay? So let me go ahead and take off the lid of the box. I have a level here that we're going to use, so let's go ahead and take the box and the level to the laser, okay? Let's go. Now before I put the ammo box into the laser, I'm going to have to fully lower the laser bed and remove it. This is the only way that the ammo box is going to fit safely under the laser head. So I now place and center the box onto the bottom rails. I now place a level on the top of the box in the X direction to ensure that it is level, and the bubble falls right between the lines, so the X direction is good. I now rotate the level 90 degrees and I check for level in the Y direction, and once again the bubble falls right between the lines. If yours is not level, you might have to use small shims to raise the box in certain areas. I now jog the laser head slowly over the ammo box to ensure that the box is underneath the laser head. I now move the laser head to the center of the box and I do a manual focus. Now this next step is very important. I'm going to square the ammo box to the laser head. This will ensure that your engraving is aligned and squared on the box. So I move the laser head out of the way and I'm looking for a straight line on the ammo box. And I'm going to use this straight line right here. So to square up this box, I'm going to move the laser head and position the laser pointer onto the line. My goal is to have the laser pointer right along that line from left to right. So I start to move the laser pointer along the line, making small adjustments to the box if the laser pointer starts to stray away from the line. I make a few more small adjustments until I am confident that the laser pointer is riding on the line from left to right. After a few more passes over the line, I am confident that the laser pointer rides the entire line from left to right. And now the box is square to the laser head, so make sure not to move the box at this point. So now I'm going to jog the laser head to the bottom center of the box as close to the edge as possible. When I get close, I'm going to slow down the jog speed and I'm going to move the laser pointer to the tick mark. When I am satisfied with its position, I move to the laser's controller and I press the origin button. The laser origin has now been set. So now I go back to Lightburn and I check my file settings. For this engraved job, my settings are 275 speed with 60% power. When the engrave is done, I will inspect the job and determine if I need another pass. Your settings may be different depending on your material and laser. Now I am ready to send this job to the laser. Let's go. At the laser, I load the file into the laser's controller and I press enter. Now I press the frame button so I can see the footprint of exactly where my engraving image will fall on the ammo box. With everything looking good, I press the start button to get this engraved job going. The total time of this engrave took a little over 15 minutes. With the job complete, I decide to inspect the engraved areas, and I notice that there is still a lot of black residue on the engraved surfaces. So I decide to do one more pass at 300 speed and 50% power. This will laser off a lot of the black residue on the engraved surfaces and make post cleanup a lot easier. And you can quickly see how this second pass is removing the black engraved residue. When done, I remove the box from the laser and I return it to the workbench for cleanup. I start off by squirting some alcohol onto the surface of the box, and using a soft toothbrush, I begin to scrub all the engraved areas. When I'm done scrubbing, I do a quick cleanup and I wipe off all the alcohol with a paper towel, and then I remove the painter's tape. Well guys, this is going to wrap up this video on how I engrave my ammo boxes. I hope it helps you when you decide to engrave one too. I think it came out pretty good. And lastly, don't forget to protect your engraving from rust by spraying a little gun oil and rubbing it into the engraved areas. So until my next video, I hope you have a great day and see you soon. Adios.